4, 3, 2, 1.
Whether you've been married 1 or 20 plus years, at some point you realize you married into crazy. And that's what our show is all about. If your marriage or relationship is compassionate, real, accountable, zealous and yielding, or just plain crazy, Snooks and Lovey offer love, laughter, and a dose of reality as they unpack this thing called marriage. Sit back, relax, and get your ear hustle on. It's time to start the conversation.
This is your official invitation to the 2026 Married into Crazy Winter Ball and Marriage Conference.
February 6th and 7th, 2026 is a 2-day event. It's going to be a lot of fun. The theme for Friday night is denim, diamonds, and dancing. We have a great lineup for you, DJ Anointed, and also one of the original Chicago Steppers, Creed, is going to be there to teach the soul line dancing.
It's going to be a lot of fun, everybody. So we're going to feed you, we're going to dance, and set the night off leading into Saturday, which is going to be a great day of speakers. Mm-hmm. We have 10 times Grammy Award winning artist Joel Kibble as a special guest, and we've got some amazing speakers lined up along with him. Not only are we speaking, but we've got, I'm not even going to tell you. Go to the website, check it out. Go to marriedintocrazy.com, and you'll be able to click on Winter Ball and see all of the activities that are going to be taking place.
You don't want to miss this, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Get your tickets now. Early bird pricing goes all the way up through the middle of November. After that, all bets are off. You never know what we're going to do, but right now is your chance to get the early bird tickets. We want you to get the discount, but more than anything else, we want you there.
Be there.
Welcome back to another episode of the Married into Crazy podcast with Snooks and Lovey.
I'm Snooks.
And I'm Lovey. And we want to welcome everybody back as usual because it's another week and you have a lot of choices and you could be listening to anything right now, but you've chosen to spend some time with us. And who are us?
Us are.
We're a couple that's been married for 28 plus years. Mm-hmm. And we've been through some things. So we try and come on here and share. We talk about all things marriage. And when I say we've been through some things, we've been through some things.
So let me just recap for you, for those that have not heard. Let's see, 4 months after we met.
I'm checking to make sure she gets this right.
Lord, today. 4 months after we met, Lovey proposed. I said yes. My ex acted crazy and stabbed Lovey in the heart. He had to have 2 open heart surgeries. This was all like literally 5 days after we were engaged. So 2 open heart surgeries later, we got married. There was a lot of
drama.
Oh my gosh. It's just not even a lot. Doesn't even cover it. But some boycotting of the wedding, some people leaving the reception. These are all not my family, but
oh wow, shots fired.
I'm just telling the truth. Like only I know how to tell it. Anyway, so 4 years after we got married, we were out to dinner and I told him that I wanted a divorce. Now, mind you, we were out to dinner because I know that matters to him. We were at Morton's Steakhouse. And I told him I wanted a divorce. He likes to say between the cream spinach and some other dish. I don't know. He didn't even have cream spinach. But I told him I wanted a divorce. And the reason that I wanted the divorce was because I felt like I didn't matter. I wasn't important enough for him to stand up for me, stand his ground with his family. So I left. Oh, I didn't leave, but I wanted to leave. And but between me saying that and obviously me not leaving, we figured out some things. We went through counseling, we went through coaching, but we really never found what we were actually looking for. I feel like there was a couple that was very instrumental in us working things out, and it was his aunt and his uncle. And I will never forget that, because that was very important to me. It meant a lot to me that they stood in the gap. So I feel like with this podcast, how we started it, we kind of became that couple for the younger generation, the people who need someone to talk to when they don't feel like they can go to, I don't know, maybe, I don't want to say professional people, but like licensed clinicians or what have you, maybe clergy, whatever, your mama, your grandpa, whoever.
But we do have certifications. And what transpired was after all that went down, we found, and after we made it through, there were quite a few people that started inviting us to their homes. And it was always about, oh, there's this couple I want you to meet that was having some challenges. And so they would want us to sit down with them. And so over time, we sat down with enough individuals. I mean, there were times where we were like, okay, come over to my house. And we'd get there and they'd be like, okay, I'm leaving. This is so-and-so and so-and-so. You need to talk to them. Yeah. And I'll be back in an hour. And that happened enough times to where we decided, you know what, let's share what we know and introduce people via podcast to a lot of other couples that have been through some things that have overcome, but also some subject matter experts. So from time to time, we'll interview different individuals. Like last week, we had on Dennis Gaxiola, who's a world-renowned comedian, but had been divorced from his wife for 23 years. And then they reconnected, remarried, and they've been married now 9 years. It's a perfect example of a different type of love story that we bring to you so they can talk about the things that they had been through. But what we do is we come on here and we just talk about a variety of things. Mm-hmm. And that's what we do. And as a result of that, we've done some pretty incredible things for couples and with couples, like the Married into Crazy Winter Ball and Marriage Conference.
That's coming up in February.
So you've seen some of the information. Hopefully I wasn't too lazy and I actually put on like a little advertisement. So you've seen that. But there's other things we do. You can go to marriedintocrazy.com and see all the different ways that we pour into marriages. There's a lot. There's an app that you can get, the Married into Crazy app, that's available both on Google Play and the Apple App Store. You can get coaching on the go, coaching in your pocket, whatever you want to call it. And there's a lot of different things that we offer through that particular apparatus as well. It's been a lot of fun. Our podcast is in multiple countries. We've helped a lot of individuals, and we've also been poured into by other couples. It's not a one-way thing. And that's what this podcast is about. If you have ideas, if you have questions, if you have suggestions, feel free to email us. I was about to say text us, but email us at coaching@marriedintocrazy.com. And we're open to it. There's been a lot of listener interaction where topics have been brought up and we've brought them to you. And it's great for dialogue. But the bottom line is we have an edict, right? A mandate that we believe is from God to just help to positively impact over 1 million couples. Not us necessarily individually, but for every couple that gets something, a nugget, a gem from either us or the people that we introduce you to, and then you in turn share that with another couple, and so on and so on and so on. We truly do believe that 1 million couples can be positively impacted. We don't necessarily need to be the ones to do it directly. It can happen indirectly, as long as we're lifting up the covenant of marriage.
Okay.
I'm just preaching.
I just want to say, love you for the win with the vernacular, that particular apparatus. I love it.
She's always making fun of me and my vocabulary.
I'm not making fun of you. I love it. It's like, I'm just like, I got me an educated man.
Get your vocabulary up. That's all I'm saying. No. Look, this week though, what we really wanted to talk about was don't do things individually that are going to negatively impact your togetherness. Is that right? Because we had a conversation. Is that the right way? Am I saying it right?
No, you're saying it right because I was there, so I know what you're saying. No, I'm playing. No, but basically, I want to say you're talking about like, because I posed a question to Lovey, or I said something to him about what are people doing individually that are getting in the way of them being together. And then when I started thinking on that question that I posed to him, it kind of came back to me about, it's like you're living a parallel life, So that's kind of where that came up. I don't know. I was in the car and I just thought about it. And I think because the reason that came up for me is because I was, every now and then someone will talk about podcasting with other folk, and I will individually. Lovey talks more about it than I do. But when I start talking about the podcast, what we do together, And they're like, that's like so fascinating, because they don't do those type of things with their spouse. Not that they don't do things together, but never thought about doing something like that. It's like, so what are you doing? I didn't want to ask that question. Well, what do you do with your man, or with your woman?
Well, see, and it's interesting because this past weekend, we went to Las Vegas. We took our daughters.
We had so much fun in Las Vegas.
So we gathered up our kids, and we went to Vegas for the Las Vegas HBCU Classic to watch Grambling play Jackson State University. And while we were there, we met some incredible couples that were really interesting. And there was a group of individuals we met at Bardot. It was his restaurant over in Aria. And it was funny. They saw we were wearing our married, well, at least I was wearing my Married Into Crazy t-shirt, one of the old school ones. And the guy walks up and he's like, oh, it's funny that you would even wear that. And we just got into this conversation about how while a group of couples were taking a cab over to that hotel to eat, they got into a deep discussion about intentionality, about couples being intentional about how they move their marriages forward. What are they doing to enrich their marriages? And the gist I got from the conversation, though it was brief, was that we're all kind of of the same mindset or the opinion that there's a lot of people out there that are just kind of winging it when it comes to their marriage. And don't get me wrong, it's not hard to not wing it because none of us are given a manual. I think the only manual that we were given was the Bible, which is a good book. That's why they call it the good book. But it still leaves a lot of ambiguity because everyone does marriage a little differently, which is the way it's supposed to be because every marriage has its own unique DNA. How we do our marriage should be different than how other people do it, but there's nothing wrong with it being similar. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there like, oh, we got married on some he looked good, she looked good stuff. And there's not a lot of depth or context to the relationship. My mentor, a good friend, E.T., Eric Thomas. E.T. has this video out that's on YouTube, and I cannot think of the name of it.
I want to say it's Dig.
Dig, that's right. Look up Dig.
Dig for 200.
Look up Dig on YouTube. And just put in Dig, D-I-G, and Eric Thomas. And it's a great video. We used to use it for a lot of our workshops back in the day. We need to revive that, as a matter of fact. But he goes into...
His video? Revive his video?
Well, just start utilizing it.
Oh, I was like, wait, why would we do that? I'm thinking...
It's timeless.
Anyway, it is timeless. I was thinking something else. Sorry, go ahead.
And he specifically calls out, getting married on some he looked good stuff or she looked good stuff without really getting to without digging deeper. And it comes to this as well. When you're talking about moving forward, what are you doing individually that might be harming your ability to move forward as a couple? It could be that you're not both being intentional about how you're approaching your marriage on a day-to-day basis.
So I think one of the things, though, that people may get caught up in when you talk about doing things together, it's like, well, we're building our family. Okay, that's great. But as we've always stated, the kids are going to eventually leave. I mean, we pray that the kids eventually leave, right? Some of us have businesses together. There are people who talk about building legacy, and I'm not sure. Some legacy is contributed to monetary efforts. Other legacies, the non-tangible ones, may be a legacy of building that legacy of love, compassion, whatever it is that they're showing, humanitarian efforts, stuff like that. You have families that philanthropy, how you say it? Okay. That runs in their family. So that's part of their legacy. But I want to say because that is an awesome and amazing thing. So in addition to that, what is it that you're doing as a couple, not just as a family? Like Lovey stated, we went to Vegas and the girls came with us and we had a phenomenal time. And it was so special to me because they didn't stay with us. They stayed with...
Good Lord, no, they didn't stay with us.
They stayed
they might
with
have gotten away.
Whatever. He was letting that be known, too. But just the fact that they were like, okay, where you guys at? What time are you getting there? Blah, blah, blah. They made sure that they laid eyes on us while we were there each day. Now, I don't know if it's because they were like, well, they paying for everything.
I'm sure that had a lot to do with it.
But that was so special. And I feel like one of our traditions, legacies that we have is vacation. Now, that might be something normal for a lot of families, but I know there are plenty of families who have never vacationed together. I never vacationed with my family outside of going to see family.
And is that even truly a vacation?
I mean, if you're away from the house for a couple of days, I don't know. That was the mindset of my parents, I guess. I don't know, but then it comes down to being the affordability, but that's different. You know what I'm saying?
That's a different topic.
Yeah. But it's like, what are we cultivating with each other? What are we doing? What are we trying to continue on? Like for Levy and I, we have the podcast, but we don't just have the podcast, Married into Crazy. It's a whole thing. We have Bravo. We have a garden. I mean, so it's not just business stuff. It's
true. There's multiple. There's layers to how we build together, and it's not just us. I know other couples that have layers. Now, don't get me wrong. It says when two become one, right? That doesn't mean that you drop your identity altogether, that you stop doing things separately. You have to do that because we have separate interests. Snooks has never been on a golf course with me.
No, one time.
The one once, yeah.
That was
and
enough.
she hasn't been back.
That was enough.
But you have your different interests. Like she has her church conferences. It's just not my thing. I love going to church.
13th Apostle. No, go ahead. Sorry.
But going away to church conferences, that's not my thing. She thrives in it. That gives her life. But I don't deride her. I don't sit there and say, "Oh, why would you go do that thing?" I don't like to do that. But it's the same thing. She doesn't give me a hard time. It's been a while since I've golfed, or when I go fishing with my buddies, she goes, "We need to have those different things." How do those things contribute to us? It's a way to refresh, renew, so I can come back and be of a sound mind, so that way I can contribute at a higher level to my wife. Mm-hmm. Same thing. She comes back renewed from these conferences, and it's just like, oh my God, Lord, let me tell you what this person said, and it's like, and it's kind of cool. Even though I wasn't there, I have no interest in going, but I love to see and hear what really gives her energy.
But I think the key thing too about what you're saying is that we come back together. I don't just come home from going to the conference and keep all that information to myself and go in the room and shut the door or whatever, sit down. I'm sharing. He doesn't just come home and whatever they did. I don't know what you do when you fish. You just look at the water.
Talk about our wives.
But when he comes back, like he said, he feels renewed, and he's just that much more able to reinvest in us because he's been able to do his own type of thing, but the main point about that is coming back together. Don't go get revived and then stay away. That's not, that doesn't help the relationship.
No, but you can also still do things together, right? So for instance,
you can clean together
at the upcoming conference. Well, at last year's, or I should say earlier this year in February at our marriage conference. And then again, coming up this upcoming year in February of 2026. We had couples before, and we're going to have couples again that are going to talk about how they create together. One's going to kind of go into how they divide and conquer. They have same interests to a certain extent, but they have different ways of doing it. So they divide up and they do things their own way, but it's for the betterment of their overall vision. Got another couple that's going to be talking about having a money fit mindset when it comes to how a family approaches their goals when it comes to finances and travel and legacy. And again, but that's them individually contributing to a bigger picture. And I think a lot of times this is going to come back to, again, you're talking about coming back together again. What is your vision for your marriage? You've heard us say it time and time and time and time and time again. What is your vision for your marriage? Do you have a vision? Other than, oh, I just hope to be together for 20 years. I hope to be together for 30, 40, 50. I want a marriage like, other than that, this big, ambiguous kind of, I guess, goal and this nebulous, do you have a vision? I mean, a true detailed, like, yes, I want us to be able to have X amount of properties, or I want us to be able to travel to these different places in the world. I want to make sure that our kids go to these particular schools. Like when we were in Vegas this weekend, there were so many legacy families that had, the mom, the grandparents, the mother, and like 3 generations of people that have attended either Howard or Jackson State.
Grambling.
I said Howard, huh? Yeah, Grambling or Jackson State. There was a family that we were there, that we visited with while we were there, that we know very closely. They are they're 2 generations. Both parents went to Grambling, and one of the daughters went to Grambling, and a son went to Grambling. Didn't graduate there, but actually went there. So there's legacy. They had a different vision about what was important to them.
Well, even not just going to that school, but the legacy of continuing the HBCU tradition. I mean, that's a legacy within itself when you look at the history of the HBCU and where we fit in.
Oh, I have friends that are alum when it comes to USC, and it's a big deal to be, a part of the family, the USC family. Same thing, UCLA. I have a close friend. He went to UCLA. His father went to UCLA, and now his daughter's one of his daughters has been accepted, and so she's going, and it's like the pride and joy, of him, like, oh, finally one of them decided to, go where I went or where we went. There's that. There's people that have that same type of thing when it comes to military service. There's so many different ways, but again, these are individual ways that creates something like a little spark, some type of energy, if you will, within the relationship.
So I'm just kind of tripping over how you just glossed over the cleaning part, what I said earlier.
What are you talking about?
You just kept talking. I was like, things that, the visions of the marriage, whatever, things you could do together. I said cleaning, you just bulldoze right over it.
Because that's just what I do. I see things that need to be cleaned, and I just keep moving.
I'm just playing. I just wanted to just have a little fun. But I think that when we're talking about what are the things that you're doing that are preventing you from cultivating that type of connection with your spouse? Also, why? What is the reason for it? Not just what are the things, but what are some of the reasons why we do that? Is it that you don't share the same interests? Have you tried it? Have you not tried it? I'll always go back to Mexico. We went to Nuevo Vallarta when I did the zip line. No interest at all to be outside. I barely go out in my backyard, and that's my home, and I know I'm safe. But I was like, you know what? This is something that I know Lovey wants to do. No pressure. He didn't say anything. He really wanted to do it, and he wasn't going to do it without me. And so I was like, you know what? Let's do it. And he was like, are you serious? Are you sure? Are you sure? Yeah. And I had an amazing time. So maybe moving forward, for those that don't like to do certain things, maybe just take a second look at some of the things that your spouse or your partner has an interest in doing, and pick one and do it. Both of you, as a matter of fact, pick one and then do it. And that could create a different type of connection. Now you have a new shared memory, a new shared experience, and something else that you all can laugh about and carry on, maybe pass down.
It's funny. I grabbed my phone because
I was about to say he is being rude.
No. You said something, and you didn't even know I sent this earlier. But once a week, I'll send texts out to a lot of the couples that we worked with or have worked with in the past. Just little food for thought. And the thing I sent out earlier today is, here's your Married Into Crazy thought for the day. Little acts of love create big connections. Then I ask, what is something small for you that will have a big impact on your beloved? And it's funny how you're speaking to that, like this little thing, like to her, it was like, it's no big deal if I go or not, but I know that he would love this. So she did it out of love for me and an interest in maybe, participating in something she normally doesn't. Something small for her, but ended up being very big for me. And then she discovered that she enjoyed it and is looking forward to doing it again. No, yeah. But it's those little things, right? It's that little thing that individually we can contribute. Even it doesn't have to be something big. It doesn't have to be some large, grandiose thing that you do. It can just be something simple. Like, I know that this individual likes sugar cookies. I'm just making something up. They like sugar cookies. And how hard would it be for me to just, next time I'm at the store, I'll pick up some, and just because I'm just going to bake, a handful of sugar cookies, and just put it on his desk or on her desk, or,
something small,
something really inconsequential and very small can really advance your marriage in huge leaps and bounds.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And then when I feel like also when your partner sees you made that effort, then it's not always about reciprocity, but
it's game on. I know for us, we have a tendency to try and outlove each other.
Because I don't like to be considered the loser.
But and again, for us, it's a fun thing. And it's not a one-upmanship. What it is just us having fun with like, oh, you ain't going to love me better than I love you. Oh, I'm going to, let me see that. It's like poker. I'm like, I'll see you and raise your call or whatever. I'm not a poker player. But.
So the funny thing about that though is people do that all the time, except for in the pettiness. You finna be petty? Oh, okay. I see
match
you.
That.
I'm gonna match it. I match energy. So if we can match energy in the love department, man, that would be so awesome and amazing. I'm serious,
And some of you are out there like, well, that's what I do. Well, you know what? Kudos to you. Absolutely. Right. Please continue to do that. And then put it on display. Let the world see it, because you don't know what kind of spark that you might actually create.
Because let me tell you something. One thing about Lovey and I, and it's not that we don't have our bad days or our moments or whatever, but a lot of times when people see us, they're like, you guys are so cute. You guys are so, because we're just doing us, not even tripping off while we're walking down the street, or who's watching us or who's listening to our banter back and forth. When we're just being authentic, we're just ourselves. When no one is looking, people are making comments when I don't even know that they're really paying attention to us. And they're just like, I love your energy. I love your banter. I love your vibe, blah, 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 whatever. And they leave and they're smiling when they leave. And I feel like if more people did that, not like come find us and say stuff, but be that couple to where you can emulate that for another person, it just will multiply and then people would just be better off for it.
Oh, I think so. I mean, and just be yourselves. Just have fun with it. Because
unless yourself is not a nice person.
Yeah, that part. But I mean, it irritates her sometimes, but we're going up an escalator and I'll grab her butt.
I'm like, can you stop groping me in public, please?
And trust, there's no kids around or anything like that.
But
we're having fun.
Yeah, I do the same thing sometimes.
We're just
not as much as he does.
It. But when it comes back to what are you doing individually, there's some things that you can do. I mean, you can go out. We work. We have different careers. We completely different areas. And then we come back together again. There's got to be something that you can do. But let's just be careful that what we're doing individually is not harming us either. Those things that when you start to make that, well, one thing, when you start to make something replace God, right? We talk about having false idols. It's one of the 10 commandments, right? Thou shalt not have no false idols before me or no gods before me. Then that applies to your relationship with God, but it also applies to your relationship with your spouse. You shouldn't be putting a false idol or another thing in front of your spouse. Either what?
I was just thinking about. So he likes to tease me because Lovey's a football. He likes to watch football too, but I feel like I love to watch football. And sometimes I get so annoyed because I'm like, the game is on. Can we just watch the game? And there are times he's like, I don't care about football unless of course the Steelers are playing. I will watch all football. Not that he won't, but the Steelers are playing, it's hands down, don't talk. But if other teams are playing, he's kind of okay with not watching. I'm not. I'm like, can you hurry up right now?
That season is past for me. There was a period in my life where that's all I cared about.
I feel like that was that judging me?
Oh.
That season has passed for me. So
maybe
pontificating.
Possibly. I've advanced, you know?
I've advanced. I've grown.
I have.
But go ahead.
No. It's just that. No, it's funny that you even say that. There was a period where that's all I cared about was football. That's all I wanted to do was play football. That's all I wanted to aspire to was football. And then at some point, it just pivoted where I care about one team only.
I know, but I'm just like, can I get 6 months? Can I disappear for like?
But we even do. There'll be some things we'll watch. We'll watch some games. I love Red Zone because then I'm like, okay, I get to watch a little bit of everybody. Then it's like, okay, I'll enjoy that. She gets tired because she wants to say, well, I want to know what happened to the play before this.
Thank you. I just want to know what was the buildup. I'm like, what happened before that? Lovey is like, I don't care about that. I'm like, I do. Now I got to go search and I want to see how it developed. And that's where we're different.
I'm a results person. And she's a process person.
Well, I mean, the process is important to the result, I feel like.
It is, and I'm learning. But anyway, this is not about us. Look, this is what camera or no camera, this is what we do. But we want you to find out what it is that you do. What do you do individually that's contributing to your marriage? But then also take some time to really take inventory and find out what are the things that we're doing individually that aren't contributing to our marriage. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think everything we do in some way, shape, or form should contribute.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that it has to be something that she's fully interested in or that I'm fully interested in.
It should be something that I'm fully interested in, but okay.
But it should be something that builds us, grows us, to where we can come back and contribute in a positive manner within our relationships.
Right, but let's also not weaponize that idea because sometimes people can get, you're supposed to be interested in what I want, and that just kind of creates a whole thing of we don't want to do that because now I don't want to do nothing. Now just go on.
She back to being petty.
Just say it.
No, but that's just it. So I mean, this is pretty much a straightforward episode. But really give some consideration to, if we're going to give you anything to walk away with and to really consider, have a conversation. Like what are we doing individually in our own silo, if you will, that's contributing back to, our marriage, our covenant. And then what are we doing potentially that might be detrimental to our relationship as well?
Yep.
And it could be something super small, destroying confidence in each other, like taking digs at each other in front of your children, other couples, out in public, doing little things. Somebody might be a little bit more sarcastic than the other.
Yeah.
And then it plays out differently and it leaves a different kind of energy, if you will, with people that are around you. So I don't know, just take that inventory and figure out what is it, A, that is contributing to our marriage, and B, which could be detracting from our marriage.
Got it.
Because both of them play a huge role when it comes to the legacy of your covenant.
That's right.
So you done?
I'm done.
All right. With that said, until the next time.
Be blessed.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Married Into Crazy podcast with Snooks and Lovey. Please like, subscribe to, and review the show wherever you access it, and tell a friend about us. Visit marriedintocrazy.com and see how Snooks and Lovey can bless your marriage directly.